One of the most common questions you'll hear is, what do you do for work? And well, I think that's a good question, and it's probably a good starter, if you will. I tend to find and lean more towards the question about what do you do for fun? I mean, what do you do for work is interesting, and it'll tell you what someone's occupation is. But I think asking the question, what do you do for fun, gives you the opportunity to be able to hear if someone had the choice to do whatever they wanted to do, what is it that they would do, right? And in the case of a job, it's not always the same thing, right? Where they get to do what they really wanted to do. Perhaps they're not in the job that they wanted to be, or perhaps they're just not in a job at all. And that's one of the reasons why I really like what do you do for fun, because I think it opens up a completely different conversation and allows you to be able to connect on a different level. So how about you? What do you do for fun? Let us know in the comments below. And how do you connect good, gooder, goodest, well? So how about you? What do you do for fun? Do you knit? Do you DJ? Do you collect belly button lint? So what about me? What do I do for fun? Well, if you haven't noticed already from behind me, I enjoy playing board games. And if you don't have something fun that you currently do, or you're not exactly sure how your hobby could help you connect better with other people, I'd really like to try to sell you on the idea of a board game. So, just hear me out here. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why board games are the way to go. Letter A, it tells stories. And there's something about a story that's being told that you get to share that experience with others, and you get to tell about it later. You were there when you took down that last goblin before he could take out your castle. Or perhaps you were able to build that bonfire on that deserted island just as that plane came over and you were saved from that island. And that's a story that sticks with you, and a story that you can tell others. Roman numeral 2, it builds bonds through experience. So those stories that we're talking about is something that if you had a shared experience doing, well, it creates a bond. And if you've ever gone through something significant, whether it's a major event in someone's life, whether you were doing a major project at work, or maybe there was just a funny story that came up that involved you and your friends, well, that creates a bond. And that's exactly the thing that board games do for me and for my family and my friends and those that I'm trying to get to know. Number 3, it gives me a fun way to invest in others. Now, with those stories, with those bonds, sometimes just having someone feeling a connection is just good enough to be able to help encourage them. And I find it goes a lot better to sit around a table and play a board game than it does to try to do a dinner party at times and have awkward small talk. I think there's something special about the board game table that allows you to do that. Now, the other thing that I really enjoy is being able to invest in my kids. We've been able to talk about historical events. We've been able to learn more about certain eras within history. We have been able to tackle certain subjects. So what am I trying to do with this series? Well, when I first got involved with board games, one of the difficulties was, or barriers to entry, was trying to figure out how to play these games, or even know what games are available that are good that I'm going to be able to enjoy with my family. I worked hard for my money. I wanted to make sure that whatever I was spending it on was not going to be something that just fell flat, that didn't engage my kids, or maybe it was something that my kids enjoyed, but man, I was really bored, but I was just sticking with it just because, I just wanted to do something with my kids. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to help with those barriers of entry. If you're interested in going along on this journey, I'd love to be able to take you along and to be able to help you with a few things by putting some tools and resources in your hands in order to be able to help you through this process. So, what are we going to do? For example, I'm going to teach you some games. So along the way, I'm going to teach you how to play certain games that I think would actually be really good in trying to either play with your family or play with those around you that you want to get to know better, or just want to connect and close the outside world to. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time to be able to play some games and tape those with some friends and family, and to be able to show you that interaction on the table. So it's one thing to teach it, it's another thing to actually see some of these games getting played, and I'd like to be able to show you what those look like. And then what we'll do is we'll take some of the questions that you might have on this video or other videos that we post, and at the end of the month we're going to come back to the topic and talk about what do you do for fun, read some of the comments or the questions that you have, and then interact with you in that way and talk about some of the games that we've been playing off camera that might be of interest to you, or just kind of talk about them in general just so you can see what we're playing as a family. Here at G Club, we believe that better connected people build better communities. And if you're interested in being a part of this community, I would encourage you to follow along with us with these videos, to put your questions and comments in, add in your input. What are some things that you're doing from a hobby standpoint that allow you to be able to connect with others? And what are some ways that you can be creative in trying to use those hobbies in order to be able to connect better with those around you that you enjoy? So, with that said, my name is JT, and you've been watching G Club. So you stuck around this long to see what other videos might pop up. Well, the G Club Lab Techs have been hard at work to find these particular videos just for you. That's right. No, not you. You, yeah, you over there. Yep, you know who you are.